You're an entrepreneur, you're running a business, but you feel like you're not fully motivated anymore. You had this drive in the past and you maybe relied a lot on an extrinsic motivation, but now you notice I would like to boost my intrinsic motivation. That I actually feel joy, I'm actually in the flow, and actually I want to move this ahead, and I'm also having a more stable level of motivation. You can do that. There's even a science behind, a very practical one, and I want to share this with you. It's my personally most favorite theory in psychology. I am a psychologist. I'm in this business for more than 8 years. And here's my favorite theory that practically answers your question of how to increase intrinsic motivation. It's the self-determination theory. And it states that you need to fulfill 3 different needs that you're having. And if those are met, you're intrinsically motivated. Let me share them with you. The first one is a feeling of autonomy. So you actually feel like I'm free and I'm self-determined in what I'm doing. Well, as an entrepreneur, you probably have that to a large degree. And though the problem is probably in the other direction, that you have too much freedom, there's too much unclarity, so you feel overwhelmed. And unclarity leads to stress, and stress leads to procrastination. That's frustrating, and it has nothing to do with intrinsic motivation. So you somehow probably need to make sure of how can I get this right degree of autonomy and freedom. That can mean that you simply boil down your options a bit more concretely and then decide between 2 or 3 options. That means that you maybe need to reevaluate what's important to you and supply yourself with a reason for why you're doing what you're doing. Even if it's boring tax stuff or whatever you need to do. If you know why am I doing all this in the bigger schemes of things, it makes sense and you're more motivated to actually go out and do that. And that also gives you the feeling of, yes, I freely decide to do the taxes right now or whatever it is. I don't have a choice right here, I know, but I know why I'm doing this, and that's why I really want to do this boring stuff or this annoying stuff or this stressful stuff, because I want what's behind there. So 2 points. First of all, boil it more down to concrete options and also supply yourself with a reason why doing things. I think your values are very important. Reassess your values, what's most important to you. Second need that you need to have met is a feeling of competence. Competence can be achieved by you doing tasks which are in your zone of your proximal development. That on the one hand means it's not too easy, it's not just too mundane. You should outsource that stuff if possible. You should also not work on tasks that are too overwhelming and big and you don't even know where to start because you don't have any competence with that. You should also outsource that. You should work on things that are within the zone of proximal development. That means it's difficult. You also maybe don't really know the answer yet, but you know and you're convinced that you can do this. You can figure it out. You just got to stretch a little bit more. This is what's growing you the most and also making you feel competent and curious to figure it out. And I want you to reevaluate this right now as well. What kind of task are you doing usually? Is it too easy? Is it too hard? Are you in the zone of proximal development? Important point. Also, get more feedback to get this feeling of competence. Ask people around you. Ask for help. So you know where you're at. Positive feedback is of course also most important to feel competent. Surround yourself with positive people that really support you and give you constructive feedback. And lastly, focus more on learning goals. So what do you want to learn? What do you want to improve? It's not just about the money, but what do you want to learn? What do you want to improve? What skill do you need? I mean, if you're, for example, shooting YouTube videos, it would be about not, I want to upload 50 videos this year and gain 10,000 subscribers. It would be more like, I want to really master talking in front of a camera freely. I want to master editing. I want to master the music that I'm putting in specific phases of the video. I want to learn all that. And then you focus on that and improving that. And funnily, studies have shown that actually focus on that will actually give you more output. Focusing more on the output actually makes you more lazy. You get less output. You procrastinate more. So focus on your learning goals to feel more competent. And lastly, feeling of relatedness. Maybe you're a one-man show right now. Maybe you feel a lot lonely. That's a struggle and you need to connect more. On the one hand, studies have shown you need to have more fun, do some fun things with friends, maybe with your employees if you have some, connect with those, add more humor into your life. But also you need people in your life you really care about, you have deep conversations, deep friendships. Maybe it's your employees, but really build this bonding of actually caring about. It's not just a random business, you also care about the human. And you also need to feel that you have people in your life where you can have fun, but also that care about you, and you have this strong, authentic connection. So autonomy, competence, and relatedness, those are the 3 key needs. And I'm sure one of them is not properly met. And that's why you have a little bit this low, maybe you're in a rut. Your motivation is not as high as it used to be. You're not as hungry as you used to be. Maybe what drove you in the past a lot was this extrinsic motivation of pain. I need to make this business work. I need to make some money just to sustain myself, to pay my employees or whatever it is. And now it's going kind of fine and you get lazy because the pain is not there anymore, which was your driver in the past. Now you're dabbling around and you have 0 connection to intrinsic motivation yet. If you have some questions, if you want to do this properly and really have this long-term fulfilling drive, then let's connect. There's a link below the video. You can schedule a call with me and we can figure this out together, because you need to figure this out. If you're just relying on extrinsic motivation, there will be these ups and downs over life. You get lazy, at some point you struggle again, you're motivated again, but you don't really have a positive vision of what you actually want. You kind of know it, yes, make this business work, but you don't really feel it. And that's not giving you the ultimate drive and joy. I can also imagine that you're right now running this game of if-then. If I achieve that, then it will be fine. If I achieve this, then it will be great. But you've achieved so much the last decades probably, or at least told you the story already for decades, and you achieved stuff, and you're still struggling. So that's not the answer. This if-then game, that's extrinsic motivation, and you want to a degree let go of that. And I'll show you how, so book that call. First call's for free. Let's talk soon.